Horse can do if he says the horse can do, can do, can do.
Hello again, everybody. Steve Anderson reporting from Video Control downstairs on the main line here at Fauner Park, located right next door to the paddock. And again, we thank our sponsor who's been with us for several years now, proprietor Brent Linder. He's got two great restaurants located in downtown Grand Island, the Wave Pizza Company, we call it the Bonsai, along with Sid City Bar and Grill. Got a lot of things on the agenda this afternoon. Want to take care of a couple of items of business before we start talking horses. First and foremost, Nebraska Land Distributing and Coors, along with Coors Light Beer, is giving away a $1,000 cash giveaway promotion here at the track this afternoon. If you feel lucky, the day after Friday the 13th, we suggest that you come downstairs where there's a special booth set up right in front of the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame, because you need to register for an opportunity to win this voucher, and you have until the completion of the second race to do so. The winner receives, again, a $1,000 cash voucher to be used on the balance of live racing here this afternoon at Fauner Park. And also in the same facility, there's a tent down here on the main line. You can sign up the petition to show your support on overriding the governor's veto on LB 806. We've been doing that over the course of the entire weekend here at Fauner Park, and there's still hope that reigns eternal as far as trying to bring these historic gaming machines into the licensed racetracks here at Fauner Park. So show your support, come downstairs, sign that petition, and if you can't make it, you have through the weekend to go to FaunerPark.com, where you can do the same thing. If you press on news releases there and then follow the link to an online petition, you can get the same thing accomplished as well. So that pretty much takes care of business as far as this Saturday is concerned. It is indeed a pleasure to introduce you to Roger Libby, literally a person that needs no introduction. I think he's probably one of the most recognizable people, not only here at the track, but throughout the Hall County and central Nebraska area. Roger, it's been way too long, in fact 9 years trying to get you in here, but welcome home first of all, and welcome onto the show. I really look forward to visiting with you.
Well, thank you, Steve. You guys do a great job here. We love listening to you while we're out of state, you and the Greek and everybody that handicaps, so thank you for asking me.
That warms my heart. You know, a lot of race fans, I still don't know they've got access to live video streaming on Fauner's website. I know that kept you abreast of what was going on back here. The Libbies winter in Florida and have done so for several years, but it's almost like being home when you can get online and watch the races live.
Yeah, you know, you still see all of the familiar faces in the winner's circle, and you know, we pretty much keep track of what everybody's doing. Plus, we have a facility about 30 miles south of us that has a simulcast. So if we're running at different tracks like Hot Springs, we run down there and watch that. So we're in a good location and still keep in contact with the horses, and run over to Tampa once in a while to watch the live meet over there.
Two of the most unstable subjects that are going to clash probably before the day is over: politics and weather. We'll let the weather take its course and just be silent about that. But I've spent a lot of time over the course of this year, Roger, on this LB 806 issue. You know, you get past the major hurdles of having this bill passed on three different readings down at the state legislature, and then it goes to the governor's desk and he vetoes it. There's still a flicker of hope. How much?
Well, we never know, you know. Everybody can change their mind, and we just have to stay after him. I know a lot of phone calls have been made from central Nebraska down to his office, and he's returned a lot of those calls when he hasn't been available at that time. So that's kind of positive. You know, like you was talking, there's so many ups and downs to horse racing in general, and especially this deal, you know, after we've been working on certain things for 10, 12, 15 years, you know, it kind of reminds you of a photo finish when you think you've won the race, and you know, the stewards come down and say, no, you didn't. You know?
Don't get me started on that
Yeah.
subject. Well, you know, it's hard to predict the future when it comes to politics. It's always discouraged me that, in this case especially, Governor Heineman, that he's not the only bad guy in this situation, just can't seem to pull the string and do the right thing as far as trying to preserve jobs, create jobs in an industry that has such deep agricultural roots as horse racing does. Why can that subject not become more clear to these folks?
You know, I can't understand that either. You know, there's so much more to this bill than just horse racing. You've got the facility to think about. What are we going to do with these facilities if we lose this industry? You know, Fauner Park was built to host the county fair originally, and we do so much for the community with Fauner Park and the other racetracks. Columbus, it's what they were all built around, was to serve the community. And just because we got the state fair here, they made it clear to us that they didn't move the state fair here to fix up our old buildings. So that is still on the shoulders of Fauner Park, and that's basically the buildings we use for horse races. Then you have the economic impact to the community. And then after that, you got the ag thing, and I think that's what they're missing. For 5 years, I had 65 acres of alfalfa over here, just about a mile from here, and almost every bale of that came to the horse track or to horse owners. So he's missing a lot of positive things by, I think, tunnel vision. And, you know, hopefully he's watching this, and as I've met him several times at Husker Harvest Days, and I might not welcome him this time.
I don't think many of us will be on the Christmas card list of the governor, and vice versa, I might add. Let's talk about horses, because it's a much more positive subject. By the way, the override issue comes to the state legislature floor on Wednesday of next week. There will be a debate before the vote, and there is still hope, as the proponents of LB 806 are 4 votes shy of overriding that veto. There's a few senators still riding the fence post, a few that may be convinced to change their vote. It's just one of those things, you cross your fingers and hope and pray that something positive happens.
Yeah, you know, the support around here, I think, has been great. I was a little surprised with the amendment that was attached to this, that there wasn't more support for Lincoln, because they're gonna get the most benefit out of this with a new racetrack, a new simulcast facility, a deal to create jobs there, and you know, they seem to always want to spend a lot of money to create new jobs, but they don't want to spend any money to save jobs, and we're basically not asking them to. We're trying to save ourselves. That's what we're doing.
You know, Roger Libby, who does own Shady Bend Thoroughbred Farms, been very active in the breeding business over the last 10 to 15 years, Roger? Or does it go beyond
well,
that?
that's gone beyond that, and yeah, my wife's a big part of this too. She's the you probably should be talking to her when we talk about horses.
I thought about a duo combination down here, but we'll get her on the set one of these times.
But she makes a lot of the decisions on who we bred to. You know, the mares we've bought, sometimes she'll just go off and buy one herself someplace. She got one out of Pennsylvania one time. I said, "Where'd you come up with that?" And so, you know, and it turned out pretty good. She's done a great job of nicking. She loves to read up on pedigrees of horses, and I do more of the physical work. She's the brains.
And she names the horses. You told me this several years ago.
Yeah, we kind of both do, and we got into ice cream here quite a few years ago. Ice cream names, Haagen-Dazs, you know, and look on their website, and we've come up with some great names. A lot of people remember us for some of those.
Here's some of the names that got into the winner's circle as stakes winners over the last 7, 8, 9 years. Clamato Rose, She Said She Knows You, one of my all-time favorites. Apple Crumble, Delightful Memories, and just this past few weeks, Sookie's Cookies and Spice Swirl have found their way into the Fauner Park Winner's Circle. Do you get attached to all these horses? Do you feel like they're part of the family, part of your own kids, so to speak, Roger?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing of it is, you get attached to them, all of them. even the ones that can't run. And that's the sad thing, because you got to find a home for them. And we've been very fortunate that some of the horses that we've given away have found great homes. We've even gotten postcards from people back east that one of them turned into a heck of a little pony and won some tournaments or competition in Phoenix, Arizona. So, you know. And it was a horse I named, I think it was Friday Night Smoke. And
Friday Night Smoke, I like that one.
The little girl wanted to know how she could change the name, because it didn't sound good for her to be showing that horse. But yeah, you talk about getting attached to him. It's an up and down deal. You know, you hate to see him get hurt. You know, and we've had our, you know, you lose a few. You know, they get hurt at the track, they get hurt at the farm. You know, we've had very few that we've lost foaling. We've got a pretty good setup out there. We watch all the mares with cameras and everything. We got 4 stalls set up with cameras. So it was pretty much a 24-hour deal. It's a lot like milking cows, I guess you'd refer it to as owning or being in the breeding business. You just got to watch them all the time.
We want to watch a couple of the rising stars out of Shady Bend Thoroughbred Farms that have lit up the tote board this particular season. Let's go back about 5 weeks ago, Roger. We're going to replay the Orphan Kiss Stakes, $25,000 on the line, and a couple of sisters, both out of the mare She Said She Knows You, running against each other, not only in this race, but in the runs race last week. And Roger, I know that's a tough ordeal. How do you separate yourself rooting against shared interests, but 2 different horses at the same time?
Well, you know, I don't like to run 2 horses in the same race, but especially after they run 1, 2, you feel bad for the other one. But I have at one time ran 1, 2, 3 in a race, so that was pretty unusual. But last week, we wouldn't have won the race unless we would have had the other one in there. So I'm going to quit whining about that. So.
The 1 and the 1A running 2nd and 3rd here now into the far turn of the Orphan Kiss. The 1 is Spice Swirl on the inside, and the 1A is Sookie Cookies from the outside. Spice Swirl takes the rail route, and Sookie's Cookies tries to come down the outside. This really got close down towards the finish line. I know you were watching this from Florida.
Yeah, we had some friends over also. We'd been down to the beach, and they come up and watch this. And you know, when they went across, a lot of them had never seen a horse race. They're from back east, New Jersey, and they're just not into that. And they were all fascinated. They were just really impressed of how the animals looked, and you know, and then you explain to them how you got to take care of them, and they just were really amazed at what we do for these horses and what they do for us. You know, it's a form of entertainment.
Your trainer, Brian Roberts, visited with us down in the winner's circle following this race. This, again, is Spice Swirl. She's a 5-year-old mare, right? Sookie's Cookies is a 4-year-old filly. Both out of the same mare. Brian Roberts told me he really thought the other horse was going to win on this particular day.
A couple more jumps, and I think she would have. You know, we've looked at this and you know, worked them head to head. They always work together, and it just seemed like Spice Swirl always outworks her just a touch, but they've both been very close on all the works and everything, even when we bust them out of the gate. But I think Sookie's going to run longer when we go long later this year. I think she'll probably outrun the other one.
So about a month later, the Runs of Stake rolls around. This was a week ago here at Fodder Park, and the sisters show up again as an entry, running against some older horses in here. And, you know, this was a stellar bunch. It wasn't a full field, Roger. And again, your horses, you know, the nice thing about your 2 particular ladies is that they've proven they can come from off the pace.
Well, if one of them gets down inside like Spice Swirl did on this race, and Louis done a nice job of keeping her there also, I might add. So, but that's race riding. That's what they get paid for. We kind of got trapped on the inside with Spy Swirl, and a little later on, we made the move on the outside, and I could see where it was clear from about the far turn as looked like when the other one took off, and was lucky because there was a couple coming pretty hard at us at the wire too.
Have you ever seen 5 horses lined up across the track, all dueling for the lead at this stage of the game? I mean, it was unbelievable. Everybody wanted the lead. Spy Swirl a little quicker off the mark than stablemate Sookie's Cookies, but it really set up for the closers here.
Yeah, it did. It done a nice job getting her out there and getting her in the middle of the track, but everybody was running at us. I didn't know if we won the race or not. That was one of them things I thought we won, but maybe they'd change it. But I don't even think it was a photo, so I guess I was at a bad angle.
If you just listen to the track announcer,
Yeah.
there would be no question.
Usually when they're that close, I close my eyes.
At any rate, you've had some really nice Nebraska breds over the last few years. I've got to ask you, with all the horses that you've put on the racetrack over the years, do you have a favorite? I kind of tend to know maybe what the answer is because you've got one that made a whole bucket full of money.
Well, I can't say she was the favorite. You know, she said she knows you got to love that horse, you know, because she's turned into a nice mare. Maybe at one time, nothing better. And then you got old Sure Shot Biscuit, you know, that come off of our farm. And nothing better was probably what disappointed me with her was after her racing career. She's produced some decent horses, but nothing like we thought she would. We bred her the first time to Cherokee Run, and thought that that was going to be a hit, and we named her Cherry Nut, and just wasn't a runner,
Yeah.
you know. So that happens, but we've had a couple nice ones out of her. Jamaica Me Crazy, that's out of her, and she's done well in Iowa and won last fall on the grass down in Oklahoma City. So, but and we've still got the old grandma out to our farm, Mademoiselle Flyer.
There you go.
She's about 26 years old. We just
Is Miracle Heights still standing
no,
out there?
he died about 2 years ago. So that's kind of when we decided not to get another stud and maybe cut down on the mares. And but we let her take care of the babies out there when we wean them, while we put her in a pen next to the babies, and she kind of shows them the ropes, so to speak. So
Terrific.
it's great to have her on the farm.
Roger, we've run out of time, and you know, the last couple of people we've had in here have had horses run on the same day, and Roger has a horse in the first race called Beach Cooler, first-time starter, and the folks that have sat in that chair have told us about their horses that have run that particular day, and they've all won. So keep the string alive. Has this baby got a shot in the opener?
You know, I've always had a lot better fillies than we ever have colts, so I've been in the stall trying to tell him he's a she. So, and it's about 4 to 1. I mean, our mares and fillies against our colts. I mean, for stake horses anyway. We just haven't had a lot of luck with the colts. So.
There's so much more I'd love to talk to you about. One of these days I'd like to come out and shoot some video of your farm, and we'll get your wife Barb back in here, perhaps. But as I'd like to know, was this predictable? Did you know you were going to have this kind of success way back when you got in the breeding business? Because it's just been an unbelievable roller coaster ride for you.
Well, absolutely not. You know, and we had a stud before we ever had any mares, because we bought a horse called Miracle Heights out of Gate Dancer from Ken Opstein, and Jack Vanberg was the trainer years ago, and the first time we ran him, he bowed down in Remington. So he was just too nice a horse to just give away, and somebody suggested you ought to turn him into a stud. So we've done that. That January, we went to the Keeneland sale and the Ocala sale and bought 5 mares between the 2 sales, and that's where it all started. We bought a horse called Native Secretary that was nothing better than Sure Shot Biscuit's mother. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Roger, they're bringing your horse out onto the racetrack as we speak. thank you again. We've got a nice gift certificate for you and your wife Barb to use at either the Wave
Right.
Pizza Company or Sin City Restaurant. Let's do this again sometime. Thanks again.
Let's
And
make a
best of luck
plan.
in the first race.
Thank you.
Here they come for the opener. Don't go away. It's going to be an interesting Saturday at the races.